Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam Mel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. This goes out to the Moors out there that will be watching the 85 South Show. One time for the one time I see you out there. Much love to the entire 85 South Show. J.O.N., DC Youngfly, Chico Bean, Clayton English, Carlos Miller, the research department, the whole crew, everybody that got something to do with that show. Y'all do amazing work. Much love and respect. Keep doing your thing. Keep shining. It's amazing. All right, now let's get to it. 85 South Show, teaching more science. Could it be? We're going to get to the clip. Then we're going to come back. I'm going to do a little reading. Then we're going to get to some more clips. We got a lesson today. So let's get to it. Peace.
That's where the first person came from.
Maybe that's the first motherfucker that they found.
Yeah. The first people.
You think that's how fucking crazy this is? They done convinced us that they done found the first motherfucking people. Stop playing, bruh.
The first people they found?
That's the first people they found. That don't mean that was the first motherfuckers
don't mean
here.
they the first people. Yeah.
Who was they parents?
The first people they found.
That's where I get
lost. Where they mom and them at?
That's where I get lost there right there.
Bitch, if it's one motherfucker, it's some more motherfucker.
We found the first people.
Keep going.
The first people you found. Find some more.
Come on.
You keep finding the older one.
Man, ain't no.
But they all in Africa. That's where they keep on Earth.
I can believe it started in Africa just by the color black.
Okay. So Africa is the center.
Cradle
I
of
think
civilization.
it's the center.
Cradle of the center of civilization. And everything just sprung from
I
there.
don't even know. That might be
That's how
Mesopotamia.
fucking ignorant
We don't know.
We that ignorant.
Social
Okay,
studies.
guess what though? Ignorant and then just really of the unknown is
Right.
it's two different things, because at the end, like, what about the Asia and the Moscows and Europe's that's like fully white and the history is like old, like in Italy, like an old ass culture.
But that's as old as they can allow it to be.
No, I got you.
Even in the history, you think they gonna put the niggas in there?
No, I got you, man.
Think about labor and shit. So if niggas been slaves all around the world, who did all this writing and shit? You think white people sat there and wrote that shit? They had some niggas right there that already knew how to write.
Some niggas from Africa.
Some niggas from right there too. They had some Africans, but they had some niggas that was there already.
Shit. That's kind of...
Okay.
No.
Get on the internet and start looking up all these tribes of people and motherfuckers who was native to the soil, who would never step foot on there again because they killed they killed whole generations and whole species and whole tribes of people. That's the first thing they do when they go to a new place is kill all the motherfuckers who was there. And leave the people who look like us, but they gotta kill the native motherfuckers. You know how many people have been wiped out in the world because they was too dark living in these nice ass places? You can look that shit up.
I know about the aboriginals and all these types of people.
That's what they call them, nigga. Yeah. What the fuck is an aboriginal? That means that you're abnormally original?
I don't know. I don't think it's the same.
Absolute original.
I don't think it's the same. I don't know, aboriginal.
That means that these motherfuckers was there when you got there. That's basically all it means.
They was there way before.
Think of how many places that they can't go right now.
But the thing about it is, they got record of that. Why wouldn't they have record of the people being in Italy before them? They got record of people being in Australia and America before them.
Well, everybody know that the Moors was in Italy.
The
nigga showed up and took over Italy and made that motherfucker
nice. This
nigga
done went on a rabbit
hole. That's why Italy nice now.
With a nigga that breathe heavy.
You said who?
This nigga, one of them niggas that breathe heavy on the YouTube video.
Who?
Yeah. So, as you can see.
With the one picture and to be crooked. Look right here. This is Jesus walking over to the Mayflower with some golden slippers on in Italy in 14 AD.
And you said nigga came over to Italy and cleaned. That's what I'm saying. He came over there.
No, man, Italy was trash till the Moors showed up. The
niggas
went to Italy.
Yeah, so
where they was
white
from?
People, where they was from, they was already.
Well, you know, it's some native motherfucking niggas in Italy.
The native niggas.
Because of the Moors. The Moors came and did the fucking, and then they left the river, and it's in The stream.
Something like that, because we leaving out too many details.
Something like it is.
All right, whatever. So the niggas showed up over there. It's something to that extent. We all just throwing pieces.
We almost got it.
We throwing pieces of right shit in there.
This nigga got a chalkboard up in his head. He like, nigga, we
Come on,
almost.
guys. We gotta get. Hey,
We almost.
don't forget about Australia.
Got this.
Now this shit they got deep. This weed is educational.
Is it?
No, it's just good to just have healthy debates about shit like this. Is the world politicking?
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I wouldn't want to speak on what I don't
But you know what? We all right in a sense.
I don't want to be right.
You fuck
I
around
want
and
to be
right.
righteous.
There you go then.
Don't want to be right. You fuck around and be right, it'd be too much to deal with, man. Like, damn, I was right like
I
a
should have been
motherfucker.
wrong in a bit.
I wish I was wrong. Hey, y'all to the law.
J-O-N.
All right, so before I go any further, to my young ones out there, especially Ken, when you watch this, don't repeat them curse words. Get the knowledge, but don't repeat them curse words from the OGs, all right? All right, so before we get to the clips, because the clips is really going to bring it all home for us, I wanted to quote some things out of these books because it's important for us to do some studying and do some reading in books as well. So this first one is From Babylon to Timbuktu, A History of Ancient Black Races, including the Black Hebrews, Rudolph R. Windsor. Boom. And this is from page 110. These black Moors ruled over parts of Spain for more than 700 years. During this time, the Moors developed the greatest cultural civilization known anywhere in Europe. In the last half of the 11th century, there emerged a powerful dynasty of sultans from Senegal, West Africa, known as the Almoravids. They established their capital at Marrakech, Morocco, and became masters of a new empire that included Senegal, Morocco, Algeria, Tunis, and southern Spain. This empire was larger than Western Europe. Then I just wanted to read here on the other side. When many Europeans were garbed in skins and in coarse garments, the Moors were wearing silks, linens, and cotton cloth. The palace of the Moorish Sultan or Caliph was far greater in beauty, comfort, and wealth than any of the castles of the medieval kings. So that's that right there. But we not finished. Gonna read from Stolen Legacy. Greek philosophy is stolen Egyptian philosophy from George G.M. James. And this is coming from page 39. It says, during the Persian, Greek, and Roman invasions, large numbers of Egyptians fled not only to the desert and mountain regions, but also to the adjacent lands in Africa, Arabia, and Asia Minor, where they lived and secretly developed the teachings which belonged to their mystery system. In the 8th century AD, that's the 700s, the Moors, i.e. natives of Mauritania and North Africa, invaded Spain and took with them the Egyptian culture which they had preserved. Knowledge in the ancient days was centralized. It belonged to a common parent and system, i.e. the wisdom, teaching, or mysteries of Egypt, which the Greeks used to call Sophia. As such, the people of North Africa, Moors, were the neighbors of the Egyptians, who became the custodians of the Egyptian culture, which they spread through the considerable portions of Africa, Asia Minor, and Europe. During their occupation of Spain, the Moors displayed with considerable credit the grandeur of African culture and civilization. The schools and the libraries which they established became famous throughout the medieval world. Science and learning were cultivated and taught. The schools of Cordova, Toledo, Seville, and Saragossa attained such celebrity that they, like their parent Egypt, attracted students from all parts of the Western world. And from them arose the most famous African professors that the world has ever known in medicine, surgery, astronomy, and mathematics. But these people from North Africa, the Moors, did more than merely distinguish themselves in Spain. They were really the recognized custodians of African culture, to whom the world looked for enlightenment. Come on now. So, just to break it down if you didn't catch that. When Egypt was getting invaded, our peoples, they was like, hey, we gotta dip up out of there. Some bounced to the desert, some bounced over to Morocco, North Africa. Got low for a minute. A couple centuries, it was cool. They said, all right, it's cool to bring it back out as the Moors, bringing the culture, the science, the mathematics, all of the amazingness that the Moors was bringing with them, spread it throughout the world. So that's the connection if you wasn't understanding where this information, where this science came from. It's from our ancestors in Egypt, passed down to our peoples in North Africa, and so on and so forth. And then I wanted to close it out. And that's just a quick summary. I encourage everybody to do the knowledge themselves. And this is from the golden age of the Moor, Ivan van Sertima. Bam. Right there. Reading from page 227. Al-Idrisi, often labeled by Westerners as the Strabo of the Arabic peoples, was a famed geographer and cartographer of the 12th century. Al-Idrisi was Moroccan-born in the city of Ceuta in 1100, and he was educated at Cordova in Andalus. Al-Idrisi later traveled to Sicily to enter the service of the Norman ruler Roger II. Roger II was known for his great enthusiasm for Moorish and Arab culture, particularly the sciences. Idrisi was commissioned by Roger II to construct the Great Silver Globe. Completed in 1154, Idrisi's globe listed countries, seas, rivers, deserts, major cities, and even roads. Come on now, Idrisi was out here. Idrisi partitioned his globe into 7 zones of the world. In addition, Idrisi wrote a companion geography book entitled, it got an Arabic title, I ain't gonna read that, later to be known as the Book of Roger II. The section of the book dealing with the African continent dwelt upon the customs of various African peoples, including their commercial activities, agricultural products, the fabrics of their culture. And here we go right here. Like his grandfather, Roger II, both of whom are referred to as the 2 baptized sultans, the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II of Sicily was also infatuated with the culture and wisdom of the Moors. Frederick II, who ruled from 1215 to 1250, surrounded himself with Muslim scholars and vassals. Now you got to understand, back in those days, Moors were also referred to as Muslims because that was by nature our religion. I don't want to get into all that, but just understand, boom. So intense was his interest in Islamic cultures that he was popularly believed to be a closet Muslim. Frederick II founded the University of Naples in 1224, and there he established a curriculum which emphasized Moorish scholarship. In fact, under Frederick II, theological studies at all Italian universities under his dominion ceased completely. They stopped the theologian studies. Moorish medicine and law became the sovereign disciplines. My goodness. So that was just to put some facts to the matter. And then we even have Noble Drew Ali coming through with some jewels. I'll drop just a little quick jewel or two on it for you. It says here, to the early representatives of this faith, the world debt is incalculably great, for it was they who transmitted the treasures of Greek culture from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance. They who originated the graceful forms of which the Taj Mahal and the Alhambra are the most famous examples. It was they who contributed to the sciences of algebra and chemistry and astronomy and medicine. They who dotted the Saracen Empire with universities and who built at Baghdad and Cairo the most renowned universities of the world. During the centuries of ecclesiastical despotism, when the Christian church suppressed all intellectual activities, save those that were theological, causing the talent that reproduces to supplant the genius that creates, Mohammedans, Moors, did all in their power to encourage and stimulate research in every branch of human inquiry. The Moors or Mohammedans added to the beauty and grandeur of Spain. For centuries, art, science, literature, and chivalry flourished among them, while the rest of Europe was still sunk in the gloom of the Dark Ages. The Moors were the most ingenious and industrious of the subjects of Spain. Their expulsion from Spain in 1610 was one of the chief causes of the decadence of that country, for both agriculture and industry fell into decay after their departure. So after the Moors left, things fell apart. But enough of me talking, enough of the books and the text. Let's get to some footage. It just further brings home the point. You feel me? Much love. Keep studying. Yeah, let's get to it.
In Italia in genere le persone pensano che esista una sola razza, una sola cultura e una sola religione. Questa è l'idea che ha imposto il fascismo negli anni, soprattutto negli anni 30, convincendo che gli italiani erano, i veri italiani erano ariani, non si sa che vuol dire, comunque che la religione fosse la religione cattolica e che la cultura fosse una cultura italiana non ben definita.
In Italy, people tend to think, or used to think, that Italy was made up of just one race with one culture and one religion. That was imposed especially during the 1930s by fascism, an idea that was got across that Italy, in fact, was made up, the true Italians were made up of Aryans, and also the religion was only the Catholic religion, and the culture was Italian of a rather vague and undefined nature.
Questa è sicuramente una falsità. I nazisti non hanno mai creduto che gli italiani fossero ariani, hanno sempre pensato che gli italiani avessero del sangue negro, così dicevano.
In fact, this is complete falsehood. The Nazis, in fact, never believed that the Italians were, in fact, of Aryan race. In fact, they thought that they were of black race, and they said so.
Anche quando gli italiani emigravano in America o in Australia, non erano considerati completamente bianchi. Molti italiani erano chiamati Black Italians.
And in fact, even when Italians went and immigrated to the US or Australia, they weren't considered as being completely white. Italians were very often considered as black Italians.
E sono molti gli italiani che sono morti linciati o bruciati dal Ku Klux Klan o perché neri o perché amici dei neri.
And there were many Italians who were lynched or burned by the Ku Klux Klan, either because they were black or because they were friends of black people.
La domanda è, ma gli italiani sono bianchi o neri?
So the question is, are Italians black or white?
Allora, io da quasi 15 anni studio la storia degli italiani e dei meticci neri, ma sono uno dei pochi che lo fa, quindi non esiste in Italia ancora un filone di studio che si occupa di storia, di recuperare le storie degli italiani neri.
For the last 15 years, I in fact have been involved and looked into the history of Italians and mixed blood Italians, but I'm really the only one who does so. There isn't really a theme or a sort of study which looks into the history of these sorts of Italians. It doesn't exist.
Quindi nei prossimi 40 minuti io parlerò solo di italiani neri e vi faccio vedere qualcosa, così.
So in the next 40 minutes I'm just going to talk about black Italians and show you something about black Italians.
Allora, la prima immagine che vedete è Alessandro de' Medici.
This is Alexander de' Medici.
Ed è un ragazzo meticcio perché la mamma era una ex schiava nera che si chiamava Simonetta.
Alessandro de' Medici. Alexander de' Medici was of mixed blood. His mother was a former slave called Simonetta.
Lui del 1500
Born in 1500.
ed è diventato
1500, yes, 1500.
ed è diventato duca di Firenze, primo duca di Firenze.
And he became the first Duke of Florence.
Subito dopo, ok? Questo è sempre nel 1500,
Again in 1500.
è Benedetto il Moro,
This is Benedict the Moor.
è un santo, diventato santo nel 1807,
He became a saint in 1807.
ed era nato in Sicilia, figlio da 2 schiavi etiopi.
And he was born in Sicily, and he was born of 2 Ethiopian slaves.
La cosa interessante è che per le regole dei francescani, lui era un francescano, le regole degli ordini religiosi, i neri non potevano diventare preti o frati.
The rules of the religious orders, and he was a Franciscan, was that a black person could not be ordained a priest.
E infatti Benedetto lavorava o come cuoco o come portiere d'ingresso, diciamo.
And Benedict, in fact, Benedetto, he worked either as a cook or as an usher.
Però anche se aveva questi ruoli molto mondani, faceva molti miracoli.
But he had these very, if you like, jobs of the earth, or very sort of ordinary jobs. But in fact, he did a lot of miracles.
Sia durante la vita che dopo la morte.
Both in life and after death.
E la cosa curiosa è che lui è diventato il santo protettore, prima di tutto, degli schiavi neri.
And he especially became the protector saint of black people, of slaves.
Specialmente a Bahia in Brasile.
Especially in Bahia in Brazil.
The appearance in the people, for example, more towards the center in the south, we always had more influence from the Muslim culture, from North Africa, and basically the people from the north call us Moorish. So that's one thing, but I never took it as an offense. It's just a thing, like we are Moorish for them. And in a way, and this is reflected in our culture, they feel really proud that they never had this influence. But also because this comes not to the culture itself, I would say, but because they always managed to defend themselves, because in that period it was just like wars after wars. One thing that makes me a bit upset with this is that when we are in school, we talk about the, I don't know the name in English, but basically when we try to get the territory back, and Reconquista, the Reconquista, and we talk about this really, really proud way, like we took it back or we took the land for us, and it's not something we should be proud of today. I mean, I understand that back in the time it was different, but it's like, it's not like the people from North Africa were here invading us. This was their land. So I think inside our brains, we still think that this was always ours, and yeah, they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve the land.
What about the original conquest? I mean, originally they came and conquered Spain and Portugal, Sicily. So they weren't here before either, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you go even back, like more back in the time, there were other kinds of cultures here.
Hey man, the truth is the truth, man. We Moors. We more than black. We more than Negroes. We more than slaves. Understand that. Know that our history goes much farther back than slavery here in the Americas or anywhere else in the world. Understand that. Matter of fact, if you look deep into the history of North Africa and Morocco, you understand that the indigenous or aboriginal people, they were identified as Berbers, but they themselves call themselves Amazigh. Look up what Amazigh means. I ain't even going to tell you, but look up what Amazigh, the indigenous or aboriginal people in North Africa, look up what that word means and drop that in the comment section. You feel me? Much love. Keep shining. Yeah. Peace.